Hey guys, it's another Demo Slot Reviews here, and this is another Lotus Evora, brand new for 2014 release. And this is a very interesting looking colour scheme, and it's a pretty similar to another car that they've released. Don't know if it has any relation to it. I believe it doesn't, because the car that I'm about to show you is allegedly a made up colour scheme, but I always thought it was a real colour scheme, but apparently it's not. However, this one is definitely a real colour scheme, and this is, as I said, a brand new car for 2014. And the Evoras now, this is the second lot of Evoras to be released, and well, actually it's the third lot if you count the club cars, the second release. But because this is the sort of second release that is available to the mass public, and it's going to be the mass-produced one, this is why I class as the second wave of Evoras. Now it looks pretty nice. Compared to the Exige, it's a lot bulkier and bigger looking actually, and I thought the Evora was a small car to start with, but this one just looks a lot bigger. I mean, I've just been reviewing the other two Exiges, the RGT and the V6, and this one just sort of has a much bigger rear end, and which is obviously like how the Evora actually is, but it does sort of have a more of a smiley look on its face than it does a mean look compared to the other two. Now, I have to admit the Exige is a lot nicer looking. I think it's my personal favourite out of the Lotus GT cars that are now on the market. But hopefully, obviously, that whether you like the Exige or not, or the Evora, it's sort of up to you. There are massive differences between the two cars, obviously, as well. You can see they've got a few extra grills here, like there, and you've got ducts here and there. So there are massive differences between the two cars. They're not like, I mean, obviously, put them next to each other, you'll be like, oh yeah, they're both Lotus cars, but you'll never be able to sort of see the progression, if you know what I mean. This car does have one slight flaw with it, is the rear wing isn't correct. Scalextric pictured it with the slightly rectangular ring, not the curved one. But apart from that, they put the right detailing on it with the little Belgian flag on it, and also the Lotus written across the end there. I think this is quite a nice colour scheme. It's in the classic green and yellow combination, which is obviously Lotus colours. But when I saw it, when I first saw the original picture, I thought it looked a lot like the club one. And this led me to investigate whether it was the same team or not. And it turns out, from what I read on other slot car review sites, if you will, I'll just show you, this isn't actually a real colour scheme. And I was under the impression that it was, but apparently this one's been made up. However, this does share, or it looks like, it shared a few. You've got the similarities. It looked like they shared same sort of pattern, if you know what I mean. They must have looked at this one and sort of compared it. But obviously that's the club car one. You can still get hold of that one if you want that one. But I think this one's quite nice. It's detailed as well. It's got nice interior detailing as usual. The product code for this one is, as I've forgotten it both times on the other cars, I've misplaced my box. Product code for this one is C3506 Lotus Evora GT4 No.117 Thierry Verhees. Obviously he's Belgian, can tell by the last name. And I think this is quite a nice little one. The Evora is a fantastic little car. As you can see by where the magnet is positioned, Scalextric are placing all the magnets at the rear of the car under the axle, which is a good position, and they're also doing one in front of the motor, and wherever you put the magnet in this car, it still handles fantastically. So they're all very good little cars. The Evora, the Lotus line, they're all very awesome little cars. They're very fast, but they do suffer from the grip issue where they just sort of fly off the track. Once you lose them, you lose them, whereas some cars you can recover. But obviously that's just how the car handles and its characteristics. Another thing, obviously damage is very important to most slot car collectors. You want to know that your car's not going to get wrecked every time you used it. But the wing mirrors are obviously very fragile, and they're the main concern. The rear wings are very stable actually. I've seen these things get thrown into walls and they've bounced off walls, and even the wing mirrors have survived the crash, but the wings survive. And because it's quite small, it's not very much to me, a worry in the sense that some of the bigger wings that you get on some of the other cars, they get sort of caught by other cars when they crash, or you catch them on the barriers and they rip off. But because it's got such a small and also a curved wing, it kind of reduces the damage, and it also sort of reduces the damage you get when you roll the car, because the car is curved as well. So when it ends up on its roof, it sort of just avoids the ground completely. I do like the Evoras. They've got obviously the standard ratio is 18,000 rev motor, and they've also got the 9:27 gear ratio. They've also got the DPR. They're fantastic digital cars. They're much better than the Audi, in my opinion, and they're much better than the McLaren, in my opinion. They're very reliable as digital cars, and I would recommend them as a digital car as well to anyone. Another car that I think it's better than in digital is the Corvette as well, and well, most cars are better than the Corvette in digital, but it's also on a par with the Lamborghini, I would say. The Lamborghini Gallardo, the early one, not the Aventador, the Gallardo, because the Gallardo is way better than the Aventador as well. So the only cars that I think are fantastic are the earliest cars, which are the Ford GT and the Porsche 911, and also the Jaguar XKRS. When they've all got the factory fitted chip, they're fantastic. This is the only thing that can really stay with them. So digital is a complete game changer as well. So any car that you've had that's fantastic in analog mode wouldn't be too good in digital. That's my personal experience anyway. So that's the review. Please give it a like, comment and subscribe. We have also got the super resistant version of this Lotus Evora, which is coming out, and we're going to be doing a review of that one as well. Don't forget to check out the two brand new 2014 cars, which are the Exige RGT and the Exige V6 Cup R. Thanks for watching. Please give the channel a like, subscribe as well. Don't forget to give me a comment and ask me any questions.